Good morning and a warm welcome to esteemed speakers of the day and all the participants. Today we have gathered to learn and explore about the rapidly developing field, artificial intelligence. The impact of AI has grown multifold in the last few years. Every area of developing and progress is enabled by AI. I am Ankit Sharma, the presenter of today's event. Dear friends, let us begin today's event by rising for the national anthem.
खुद ब्रेक हो रहा है.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Now I would like to invite our esteemed principal, Dr. Sangeeta Kohli ma'am, to share few words with us.
Good morning and a warm welcome to our esteemed speakers and all the participants of the day. We are truly honored to have amongst us experts like Dr. Rajendra Patil and Mr. Mahindra Kane to share their views on a highly important topic, AI tools and its use in research and academics. I take this opportunity to introduce Vedanta Foundation and its initiatives. Vedanta Foundation is a CSR unit of Vedanta Industries. Our college at Vithalwadi, an all-girls college, and schools at Rajasthan, a college at Kolkata, are conducted by Vedanta Foundation as not-for-profit institutes to impart quality education at affordable rates. Vedanta Foundation also conducts several Rojgar centers and a school for special children at Vithalwadi. The mission of Vedanta Foundation is to help youngsters get gainfully employed and inculcate values which equip them to become good citizens. Given an opportunity to listen to persons of your eminence will help ignite the spirit of curiosity and innovation amongst these youth. We thank you, Dr. Rajendra Patil and Mr. Mahendra Kane, for taking time off your busy schedule to share your valuable knowledge. I declare the session open for the students to listen to these eminent people who are going to speak on a highly important topic which is developing very fast and touching our lives in all the spheres, that is AI. So Ankit, please take over and start the session on discussion on panel discussion on AI.
Thank you, ma'am, for inspiring words. Moving forward, I welcome our expert panel members, Dr. Rajendra Patil and Mr. Mahendra Kane. I request my co-host to introduce Dr. Rajendra Patil, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mehak Mishra from TY Babs. Dr. Rajendra Patil is an expert in teaching, research, development, quality assurance, testing strategy, professional trainings, and much more. He has 20 years of teaching, administrative, and training experience. With a PhD in data mining, he has acquired several certifications, won many awards, and published several high quality research papers. He is also a mentor coach and a trainer. He has worked with reputed institutions like Tata Consultancy Services, Infosys, Wipro, and Accenture, where he has led and delivered several projects of strategic importance. Currently, as principal at Anna Leela College, Mumbai, he is enabling several digital developments in the academics. We are honored to have the opportunity to listen to his scholarly words. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mahek. I will take the questions first with Rajendra. A few questions on how AI is helping the academician and the researcher. But at the same time, there's a lot of confusion about how it should be used in the best possible way so that it gives best outcomes. So, Rajendra, I would like to know from you that what specific educational initiatives or approaches you believe are essential for preparing the next generation researcher who can use artificial intelligence effectively.
Yeah, thank you, madam. First of all, I would like to really thank the organizers and especially Dr. Sangeeta Kohli, madam, for allowing us to share our thought in this forum. So, as dear students or all participants, as we are now very much into the AI, and this has become the buzzword across the globe now, and everywhere we expect a lot now that it is going to assist us or it is going to work for us in all the aspects. So, being an academician and researcher, so it has become very challenging at this phase now because the researchers needs to now come out with the true value or with the proper content, and they have to be very ready to in this particular era. Before this chat GPT and all, in fact, now there are certain myths about chat GPT. It has not emerged within a day or 2 days or in a year. ChatGPT was been basically introduced in 2012, but it was not that way popular because the content which it was generating, so that content basically exists in the open domain. So whatever the Google is generating for us, so in the similar way, that data has been pulled by the ChatGPT LLMs and then it is transferred and generated for us. This is what the mechanism is. So early days, researchers used to take the reference from various research paper, and they used to have their own research or their own thoughts which they used to publish. But now it happens that if you are starting to project your research paper, so you need to be very conscious, you need to be very careful because the similar content or the ratio of plagiarism, it increases high. So now you have to come out in a very different aspect, in a very innovative aspect with the genuinity of the contents and all. So I wish first of all get introduced to the this current scenario of the AI, what it is doing, how it is working, and what best you can extract out of this particular thing. So still this is just the beginning, but the first request will be or my appeal will be for all the academician researchers, get acquainted with all the tools, just explore what is available, get yourself educated, and further itself means you can easily find out or conclude that what is the now next phase or next strategy which the academician or researcher should do. Thank you, madam.
Perfect. Yeah, you have spoken so well. The second question which comes to my mind is that how should academia at its level engage with industry and policymakers to ensure that AI research aligns with societal needs and values? Like you just now reflected that there were a lot of problems and AI is evolving and it is becoming more and more better for the user. So in the same way, it is important that the research in artificial intelligence aligns with the societal needs and values. So how can the academia will have to play an important role to connect with the industry and policymakers so
Yes.
that AI research is on track with the societal needs and values?
Exactly. Good question, madam. And this is the really the need of an hour which everyone needs to understand. I am just sharing my view, which I keep giving this input to recently to some government officials also. Such inputs were been given. Basically, from our education, whatever our entire education system is there, so things should percolate from there. So because the policy makers or the strategically whatever things we plan for education and all, so at top level, there should be the policies, AI policies, which needs to be drafted. We started our IT Act came in 2000, but still the people are not yet aware about the act. And the amendment which happened, which was almost in 2006 later. So there is a gap which we are finding. That means unless and until people get aware about these acts, so the country frequent amendments are not happening. And now, by the time we were settling down, now everything is digitized and used data is being generated, but still there are no policies at the various institute level. So universities should be directed, the colleges should take the responsibility now to come out with your own AI policies. So right now, the University of Mumbai, as the Vice Chancellor, is quite active, and he has a thought. That sort of now the leadership is required. So institute should come out with the AI leadership. In fact, what Madam has organized now today, this is a first step towards the AI leadership now, because such type of events are required to educate the people to make them understand. Because when we use the technology, we should know the rules or the laws that within what constraint or within what framework this technology should be used. So, of course, the policy making is a very important thing. And talking about the other aspect, like uh, there are challenges, like many apps are coming, but what is the authentication of this app or how these technologies are proven? Because the security, safety, that also matters. Because whenever nowadays when you are registering yourself with the tools, even take ChatGPT. You're registering with your own logins, credentials. We use automatically our Google login and all. But what is the safety, security? No one talks. And tomorrow, in case, what if your all email data is extracted? We never know what can happen because they are the designers of this. So, and what in that case if something happens? So we don't have the remedies available. So that's why the policies should be there. At the same time, the remedies can be defined.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very well said. So I also wanted to know that how can, so like you were saying that uh, there are gaps, and you also outlined the role of university and academia, how they can work towards connecting to the societal needs. But at the same time, there are a lot of gaps between AI research and its practical implementation. So what we are observing now is, okay, a lot of development happening in AI, but at the same time, it should be practically oriented to deliver required solutions. So academia will also have to play a good role in closing those gaps so that the research gives practical outcomes.
Correct. Right. So, yes, it is a big responsibility for institutes also because the very first thing will be like educating the people, making them aware, and then after educating and awareness, further things can be extended by introducing the various AI programs, then associating with the industry. So there is a need of synergy of means at least every institute should have now all stakeholders like people from governance, people from industry, people from academics and research who are connected with this AI and all. And definitely, if one institute takes the initiative, you frame your policies, you publish it, maybe your policies can be accepted and further referred, and this way it can build a leadership at your institute also. So this is the one just possibility in general I would like to mention. uh, Apart from that, of course, the academicians now they should come out with they have to change the approach now. As a teacher, as a now we are the facilitators. We are not the teachers. So there was an era of guru shishya, the whatever we had learned early days, then teacher, professor. But somewhere I feel now we are the facilitators because the students know everything. What we teach in the book can be easily available, but we have to build the roadmaps now because even now we when we interview the students, so they for corporates also, so we observe a lot of gaps still. So those gaps are like, of course, technical proficiency is there, the basic things like communication. So we talk about etiquettes and all. So that matters a lot. How you should communicate with your officials or to your reporting officers. How you should deal and meet with your clients, or when you're presenting your demonstration, what are the important skill sets. So these are certain things which we cover in the academics, but students do not take it seriously. And even when the teachers are teaching, so that impact is missing or that seriousness is missing. I rather would like to even suggest in this. This is out of the question, but just the thought I should not miss. Even the teachers should be now sent to corporate for internship of 1 month. So rather than that vacation, they should really not only why only students should do the internship. So
Yeah.
now this may be controversy, but then this is my thought. I would like to share. The teacher should also do 1 month internship because this will bridge the gap.
Yeah, you have exactly touched the right chord, because as a teacher, how do I teach what is happening in the practical world, and what are the developments happening, until and unless I don't go out and understand and learn it. So China and Germany has this policy since many years, and so they have been much ahead of us. High time we also start understanding that teachers also to get themselves upgraded through practical exposure, and like you said, go for internship and not just classroom trainings. Yeah, my last question with you, Rajendra, is that in your opinion, what ethical considerations are crucial for researchers in the artificial intelligence domain, and how can these be effectively addressed?
Yes, madam. This is one of the very important part about the ethical aspect in the era of this AI. I would like to mention this is just the beginning of AI now. So far, we were talking about AI a lot, but still, this is just the beginning because there are many more to come. As a teacher, as a student, we should be now very careful that, of course, these are the very common questions which keep coming. That when we talk about ChatGPT and all, so it is killing the creativity of the student. But then everyone is having their own aspect, how we look. Treat this as a assistance to you. Technology is the assistance. Technology is not the replacement.
Hmm.
So it should not happen as a teacher. I can create the notes and then I will do as it is. Not that way. Or students are coming to me and when they write the application is simply drafted, generated by the ChatGPT. And I keep on asking, I want the letter in your own language. So unless and until I just make them to write in their own words. So somewhere we have to play a very important role that don't kill their this creativity or whatever the skills they should develop. It is easy to get it done through the technology. But
Yeah.
as a teacher, really now we have to play a very important role. When you ask for the assignment, it should be rigorously assessed. Genuinely give them the remark, ask them to rewrite again if you are not happy. Of course, there are plagiarism detectors which we should use. I personally use my technology, but just to assess me if I am doing two tasks, but because of the technology, I am able to do five different things
Hmm.
and I manage all those things very well. From morning, I said certain things. So, of course, aligning myself with the technology, but it is assisting me.
Yeah.
Many things are there where I need today. What are the things I should do? So automatically, my tool tells me these are the things you should do. In the calendar itself, there are many options which we never use and being a educator or being an academician, so please see to that we have the role of now supervision. We have the role of monitoring all this. Tomorrow, otherwise, if we'll ignore this, we are going to spoil the many generations.
Yeah.
So it is really a very, very important job now of the academicians.
Yes, very perfectly uh, explained, Rajendra. Because yes, this is kind of disaster we will create in the future years if we don't. The very important quote which you made today is that technology is for assistance and it is not for replacement. So to a great level, we you gave the very pertinent example which we all teachers are facing today, that every communication is coming directly downloaded from chat gpt, and it hardly makes sense to the situation, but the student has become so comfortable by using without making correct connection with the technology.
Right.
So thank you so much, Rajendra. You have really enlightened us on some very very important aspects, and I'm sure that the participants are going to become take a lot of very good information from your responses. We also have Mr. Mahindra, who has exemplary contribution in the field of AI. He's doing a lot of live projects in the field of AI, and he's connected directly with the industry. So, more important for us to know through Mahindra how, because they are going to pursue their careers after education, and what industry is doing in the field of AI and how they can connect with it and get aligned to all those requirements. So, welcome Mahindra, and I request Ankit to introduce Mahindra so that we can get ahead with his discussion.
Now I request Ms. Mehak to introduce our esteemed speaker, Mr. Mahendra Kane sir.
Mr. Mahendra Rane sir is a seasoned industry professional with over 20 years of experience in management. Presently, he is part of the global business development teams at Siemens. Thank you.
Um, Hello, Mahindra.
Yeah,
I have a few questions for you.
yes,
We
ma'am.
would want to know that what are the recent advancements in AI technology which you believe are most promising from different industry sectors point of view?
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, madam, for having me here today to express my, to give some thoughts on this very important topic. And see, there have been a lot of advancements, and AI, first of all, is not something new. It has been in discussion since 1950s, 1960s. But there was a breakthrough in November 2022, and as rightly said by Rajendra Patil sir, that it didn't happen overnight. Okay, but that was, you can say, kind of a tipping point where everything started changing, and people, the common man, started talking about AI, which was not happening earlier. Just to give some broad perspectives of what kind of things are going on, there is a new app called Stanford AI, which is now, if you are feeding a photo to it, let's say you are giving a photo of Red Fort, then it is able to identify it is a Red Fort and it is situated in Delhi, something like that. Okay, people are using Chat GPT or other tools for predicting stock analysis. So that's another thing which we can think. We all have been, there has been a lot of cries and use and cries regarding what will happen to the writers and creative people after Chat GPT. But again, as sir pointed out, that AI is for our assistance, right? Not our replacement. So actually, people are using those tools like DALI or OpenAI platforms, and they are using that very creatively to do something better, right? We are talking about copying or using ChatGPT output as it is, but here what is important is to add value on that. Now our new skill should be how we should learn to ask the right prompts, right? The way we are asking, say, let's say we both are talking with each other, and if I'm asking you a vague question, obviously you will have a vague answer or no answer at all. Similarly, if you are asking a vague question to Chat GPT, obviously you'll get a vague answer, right? So the skill we should all develop today is, especially students, is that prompt engineering. What kind of prompts I should ask so that I will get a proper output, right? So I think these are some things, I think, which are really driving. Another thing which comes to my mind is the X-ray analysis, which was only the field of doctors earlier. Now it is possible for AI tools to get that input and then that give some analysis, and which matches more or less with the doctor's opinions. So sky is limit for AI, and a lot of research is going on. Obviously, you being in academics, you are far more aware than me on this topic. But right, no industry is behind right now, and AI is catching up every on. So maybe in my talk, I will try to put a little bit more focus on what kind of trends we are having in AI. Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
madam.
Yes. Yeah, I would also want you to brief the students and faculty on how business can ensure responsible and ethical use of AI in their operations and services.
Okay. See, AI, like in education, it is still kind of a vague field, or like, let's say, a kind of a black box for industry also, right? So it's not that we industry guys know everything about AI and you don't know anything. The confusion is everywhere similar. So there is a new kid on the block called Explainable AI, XAI. Okay, you can just Google it out, you will get a lot of information. So what does that XAI talks about is whatever model we are we are building as part of the AI algorithm, we should be aware of what its limitations are. We should be aware of what kind of framework it is. Right? So that's the first way of being responsible towards what kind of AI we are using. Right. Another thing is what we should all avoid is the bias in the large language models. So I remember one case where there was not in India but somewhere else, that a specific AI tool was deployed to screen the resumes of people, and then it was having that data was having some bias towards a specific race. Right. So that kind of things, the moment we start avoiding, the moment we start making our large language models more neutral, automatically this responsibility and ethical aspects will start coming into this.
Yeah, you rightly said that, AI currently is, if it is a black box for industry, it is a bigger black box for the academia. So, understanding it first and then using it effectively, it is going to require a lot of efforts from all the stakeholders.
Right.
Yeah, my next question is that, a lot of traditional industries, something you already spoke about, but a little bit you can elaborate on. A lot of traditional industries also should get included into collaborating with AI and using it effectively. So, do you see AI as an introduction and an initiative in the industries where, especially in India, we still have a lot of unorganized sector in industry, traditional sector in industry getting included into it, or you feel that they will be left out? And if they are, what is the challenge of including them effectively?
Okay. So maybe I would like to give a different example before going to the AI side. When calculators were first introduced, the US professors had gone on a strike because they thought that it will completely kill their jobs. When computers were introduced, when automation was introduced, there were a lot of strikes. Labor unions were not happy because they could sense that their jobs will be taken up. Now AI is posing a similar challenge here, at least seemingly. Emotionally, it is giving this challenge, right? If you open any Facebook, LinkedIn, you will see some article or other or some video or other saying about this. Important thing here is we should understand that how we are able to use that as a technology. Okay. Obviously, there are going to be job cuts, but the jobs will go off for people who don't want to think, who
Yeah.
just want to copy and paste, right? So we should first understand that whatever mundane jobs are there. See, already we are talking about robotic process automation. The AI is already coming into that. Okay. So the repetitive jobs which someone is doing, his or her only job is to do something specific which anyone can do. And if AI is able to do that, automatically his job is in danger, right? So that's the biggest challenge. So people have to actually take it positively and to use the growth mindset or learning mindset. And as sir said rightly, we should all strive to understand what is AI. We really need not understand how that algorithm works and other things, but at least we should know. We should be aware of what things are. Right.
Yeah.
Now, another difficulty which I see is AI has been used by wicked people also. Right. So there is famous saying in English is called "wicked never sleep." And if you just Google it out, deep fake and Sholay movie, you will see a video of what the Sholay characters would look like if they were in Hollywood. Right. So if they can do for this kind of thing, then they can do anything. So there is no limit to the technology, how good or how bad you want to do it. Right? Sam Altman did not may not have envisioned such kind of things, but there are people who are taking a wrong advantage of that. So we
Yeah.
should be also very careful, very vigilant on that front. So obviously there are going to be challenges and there are going to be positive things, but I don't think any industry today is really isolated from AI, right? Especially now, you might have heard about this Copilot being launched in USA for Microsoft Office. Same thing will happen in India also, so after some days. And then Office is something which is being used by everyone almost. So all these sectors will be there. Some AI will be there as part of their operation. So nobody really can't go away from that.
Yeah, you rightly said that every innovation from mixer grinder to washing machine and now the AI, there's going to be some resistance and there is going to be a lot of misuse also of it. We picked up these questions from those given by we have about 400 registrations for this workshop. And so in that, one of the participant had asked that how can we control deep fake. And I knew that you would touch upon it, so I did not put that question. So yeah, there are going to be challenges, and we will have to work around the solutions and move ahead to use it effectively. Thank you so much. Both the speakers have given very, very valuable and very pertinent kind of wisdom on this highly developing, evolving, and like Mahindra and Rajendra said, that nobody can stay away from AI. So we better get prepared and get prepared in the best possible way so that we can use it most effectively in whichever field we are working. So now we go ahead with the very specific session, talk session by both the speakers. I invite Mahinder to speak on, he is going to talk on a very important topic for the youngsters, which is related to use of AI in the industry and how it is also helping develop careers for the youngsters, how they can look out for the right kind of careers in AI in the industry. So, yes.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Yeah. Just a minute. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Yes. I think there was some problem. Okay. So I hope my screen is also visible.
Yeah.
Yes. So today, maybe briefly in 20-25 minutes, I'm going to talk about what Industry 4.0 is and what artificial intelligence is and how they are interconnected, what kind of trends we are seeing, what kind of skills you should have for doing this. Okay. So you already know me, so I'll not spend time on this. Let's move ahead. Industry 4.0 is all around us. Okay. So if I take an example of my own car, it has internet inside, it has a SIM card, and it is connected with the cloud. And I have an app which shows something like this. So it shows me how much petrol is left in my car right now. Okay, how many kilometers I can go. I can see whether the air is healthy or not, whether the engine is locked or not. I can even start my car, right? If the gear is in neutral, I can start my car. I can start the AC of the car, etc. So this is possible because we are having a cloud connectivity. I am having a cloud connectivity with the car for this. Okay. Another example is our all everyone's favorite Office. And now I have been using Office since 1991, 92 when I was a student. And that time it was only Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Okay. And it had no connection with each other. But if you see Office 365 today, it is in the cloud. So you really don't have to install any Office software inside your laptop. You can just go to Chrome or any Edge browser, and then you can, if you are having a login and password, you can straight away start using Word, Excel, PowerPoint. And Excel and the Office is not only limited to only those softwares, but you can see a lot of different softwares which are happening. I earlier talked about robotic process automation. So there is a different platform completely, which is relatively new, last 5-6 years, and it has been doing wonders. We are able to automate a lot of things, a lot of mundane tasks, a lot of simpler tasks uh, as part of the Office 365. Right? For example, if you want to send, say, some birthday email to say 1,000 or 10,000 clients, so at a time you can do that without any mistakes. If you want to send, say, different timetable to different standards, you can do that at the same time. The moment you are having an email ID and this kind of flows, automatically all these things can be done. Right? We are able to use planners, to-do list, normal list. Right? There is a Facebook inside Office called Yammer, where you can post a lot of things. You can do collaboration. So it is not just limited to only Word, Excel, PowerPoint. but it is actually having a lot of different applications, and this is only possible because it is now on the cloud. Okay. Another example is Zomato. So maybe 10 years back, 7 years back, you would have all laughed whether you can order something like a food on Zomato kind of application. Right? But today we are seeing Zomato is having tough competition with Swiggy. Another example is Nike shoes. So in Europe, if you go to any Nike shop, you can actually design a proper shoe with whatever you want, and it will be delivered to you next day. That is only possible because instead of mass production, we are now able to do customized production. Okay, that's again possible because of Industry 4.0. You would have seen Geomart, Amazon, right? In China, Alibaba. So all they are big giants. Walmart in US, all are using different technology like cloud computing, blockchain, all these things. So Industry 4.0 is not only limited to industry; it is also there in all our lives. Maybe sometimes we know about it, sometimes we are not clear about it. Okay. Now, why this is 4.0? Because there was supposedly 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and now it is 4.0. Also, there is a 5.0. Okay, so we'll come to that. So when James Watt first invented this steam engine, so that is the so-called era of first industrial revolution. Okay, and that happened somewhere in 1784. So that it was called mechanization because there was no electricity, there was no motors and other things. So everything was mechanical. Okay, it was steam-based engines. Then came the next era in around 1870s when the slaughterhouse in Cincinnati was first equipped with a motor, electric motor, right? So that was the starting of the next era of electrification. The next era started somewhere around 1960s, 70s. We call it digitization, where this programmable logic controllers, or people also call it PLC in our domain. So those were introduced, and then the, the, the kind of you can say the scale of automation suddenly shot up like anything. Okay, and the last but not the least is the digitalization era, which somewhere around started around 2005, 6, 7, something like that. Okay, and here the main important thing is data. So obviously everything is like this was built on this was built on this is obviously built on this. But the important thing is you see the time it took to get the revolution. Like this is 1784. It almost had to go 100 years more there for the next revolution. Another 70, 80 years for here. But now you can see it's only 40, 50 years you are seeing the new revolution. And we are already talking about Industry 5.0, which is like in 10 years. So no doubt the complexity has increased. The rate at which the evolution is, the developments are increased. So current ages of digitalization, current ages of data, and if you have the data, if you know what to make sense of it, you can do wonders with that. Okay. Now there are a lot of technologies inside digitalization, which since we don't have time today, maybe madam some other time I have around 2 hour session specifically talking about different digital transformation technologies. So we can take that separately. But some things which you already know by name, like cloud computing, it has been there from last 10, 15 years. Internet of Things. There is also another thing called Industrial Internet of Things, IIoT, which is more pertinent to say industry. Okay. Then there is something called as digital twin, where you actually create a digital replica of a physical machine or a physical product. Robotics. You might have seen the kind of uh, warehouses which Amazon or Walmart or Flipkart they are managing. Just imagine we are having this yearly big billion day for Flipkart. So they just can't hire a small warehouse and put the material there, right? So they will have a gigantic warehouses. So for that you require a lot of automation, lot of autonomous robots, which are driven by AI, which are driven by cloud, which are driven by IoT sensors, right? So those are all also part of this. Augmented reality, you might have heard about this game called Pokemon Go, where you are able to play the game in real life, right? So that kind of technology we are talking about. AI ML, which is like artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, that is another technology which is the topic of discussion today, right? One more technology called additive manufacturing, which is like you might have heard about a concept called 3D printing, using which you are able to create a lot of different difficult objects. Okay, especially in aerospace, healthcare, where the normal technologies don't work. So all these technologies are ultimately possible because of internet, and when the internet comes, the wicked never sleep, right? We talked about this. So cybersecurity is also of the most importance these days, Without cybersecurity, it is just not possible to survive for some time. You never know when your PC will get hacked, right? So Industry 4.0 is possible because of internet, because of the speed of the data with 5G, 4G, and other things, right? And a robust cybersecurity. These are some trends which we are seeing in Industry 4.0 or digital transformation in industry. So one of the biggest trend is customer data platform. Like, what is a customer data platform? It is a collection of different data sets from a single company. For example, imagine Amazon. So Amazon sells a lot of different products to different countries, right? So that the kind of data, the kind of demographic data, the kind of male, female, age, all this data together, it becomes kind of a data lake, right? So that's called as a customer data platform. Next trend is democratization of AI, which really started with OpenAI becoming popular in November 2022, right? And now everyone is able to talk about AI. At least they know what ChatGPT is, right? How to use that, so to some extent. So that's nothing but a democratization of AI. So that means AI is now reaching to the common man. Okay. Another big way things are changing is UPI, contactless payment, buy now and pay later, and India is leading this because India really started using deploying UPI, and I think already we are talking to other countries for deploying UPI there. So with UPI, you can see a street hawker, a common vendor on a street also is able to uh, give a proper platform for payment. Previously, there were always used to be fights between the customer and the vendor about chutta kitna hai, right? Now he's simply giving you a UPI screen, and then you have to just make the payment. It's as simple as that. Next is this all is possible because of 5G and obviously 6G, 7G, whatever will come in future. So that will really help accelerate the data. In India, if you can see the evolution of data has been phenomenal. The cost has come down drastically. At the same time, the speeds have been increasing quite consistently, right? And I have colleagues in Germany which sometimes have very poor network, but I know I have a better network, so I'm always happy that my network is much more consistent than others. Okay. As I said, cybersecurity is of paramount importance because everything is connected with each other, and that is only possible because of internet, right? And if we are having vulnerabilities inside our systems, then definitely we are bound to get hacked, or something bad can happen. Your data can be leaked, anything. Okay. Another trend is multi-cloud architecture. So previously, when the cloud started, only one cloud, like customer used to buy only cloud from only one person. But then people started understanding that if one cloud doesn't work due to some reasons, then you should have some backup plans. Right? Just imagine we are having a big billion day of Flipkart, and their system collapses. Then what will happen to them? So they just can't do that, right? They just can't assume that only one cloud is sufficient. So you require a cloud for segregating data. You require a cloud for creating, say, redundancy in the systems, other things. Automation also I talked about this robotic process automation or RPAs or business process automation. So these are also taking a lot of leaps and bounds, and AI is also coming into those automation. Okay, the example I gave you of Copilot, which is also empowering the Power Automate platform of Microsoft. Now, with so much data being generated, someone has to be there to analyze the data. So, data analysis is a very emerging field. And if you are able to read the data, right, everyone can read the data, but we should be also able to understand the data, especially the unstructured data, right? So, imagine a big data lake which is having audio files, video files, text files, some numbers, a lot of things. And then someone should be able to make sense out of it. There are different algorithms, there are different softwares being used for data analysis, but someone has to be there on top of them to really make sense of them, right? So these are the broader trends which we are seeing in the market today, in industries today, or in every facets of our life, and we should be mindful of those, and we should be really keen to how to take advantage of those trends. Okay. Now, Industry 4.0 is driving the smart technologies. You might have heard about gigafactories, mega factories, right? So this is only possible because they are using some kind of Industry 4.0 technology. So what are the technologies we talked about, like cloud, AI, ML, DL, IIoT, right? Edge computing, digital twin. So this is a topic in itself. Due to less time, I am not able to talk about this too much, but maybe some other time we can do that. But important is the factories getting connected. The one factory is getting connected with other factories, At the same time, one department is getting connected with other department. This is only possible because one of these technologies or some of these technologies are coming together and they are able to create something good out of it. Okay. Now I talked about industry 4.0. There is also industry 5.0. It is still a very, you can say, nascent stage, very early stage, but the framework is kind of ready. So we are talking about not just automation or digitalization, but we are now talking also about humans, right? It's human centric. It is sustainable. So you might have heard about this COP 20 to 23, I think, which is happening, and this net zero, carbon zero targets which we are talking about. So all these things are now coming as part of Industry 5.0. So some highlights like Industry 4.0 was more focused on automation and digitalization, but Industry 5.0 is more on the human beings and machines. Okay. So what is really driving this 4.0 to 5.0 is basically people, customer experience. Previously, we were talking more on the connecting only machines and get benefit out of it, but now the focus is on how we are able to deliver a proper experience with customers. Okay, to customers. Hyper customization as compared to mass customization. Supply chains are getting much more intelligent, right? People are using very complex blockchains for tracing complete end-to-end solutions. So these things are already happening, but then Industry 5.0 will take these things into the next levels. Okay. What are the drivers for 5.0? Industrial blockchain is one of the biggest driver of Industry 5.0. You might have heard about everyone, like all students must be a fan of say Avengers, right? So you would have seen Iron Man putting his suits. So that's nothing but exoskeleton. So where a human becomes a superhuman by adding some technology on his or her body, right? Drones, obviously drones are in picture already, but they will have even more bigger role to play. Additive technology will be used, that 3D printing will be used to create more and more difficult parts which are required for manufacturing. Obviously, for all these things, we require very high speeds. So we are talking about already 5G and beyond technologies for that. Mixed reality will help you to understand the technology before using that. So right now, I'm using in a mixed reality kind of environment where I'm having a software in Siemens, which is giving the experience of virtual reality right now, and in future augmented reality, which will get the person trained before actually he or she starts working on the machine. So that kind of technology we are talking about. Okay. Let's talk about briefly on artificial intelligence. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, two things come into our mind. So one is the algorithm, what kind of algorithm we are using, like GANs or K, nearest neighbor, and whatever. There are so many algorithms. And then there needs to be some hardware which should be able to use that algorithm. So you might have heard about a company called Nvidia, which has recently has a big bull run in the stock market because they are able to create a lot of chips which are required for artificial intelligence softwares, right? The another company called AMD is also not behind. Intel is also not behind. So all are now gunning for semiconductor industries, and then there is a lot of scope for creating these kind of neural chips. Okay, in market. Use cases, one of the use cases of artificial intelligence is computer vision, where like self-driving car. So it is still not really been completely you can say in reality, but this is more in a testing phase, but people are getting some results out of that. Another way is to identify the people. So you might have seen somewhere on LinkedIn or on Facebook or some other social media that people are able to track the faces, and then they are able to see who is that person, right? Identify that person. So that kind of thing is called as computer vision. Robotics, I talked about this, especially in the supply chains and Amazons and Flipkarts. So there, these kind of things are really useful. Okay. Natural language processing, which is everyone's favorite these days, the Chat GPT, OpenAI, Bard, right, Bing Chat. So all these are using this natural language processing, where the robot or the artificial intelligence, so-called artificial intelligence, is able to understand what the humans are talking about or what the humans want to know, right? So these are some use cases of artificial intelligence in industry right now. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, it is more a broader, you can say, definition. So what really comes under that is machine learning, neural networks, deep learning. So these are all the subsets of that. So let's understand what all these things are. So artificial intelligence is just, you can say, when this term was coined, it was more like a science fiction that time, 1960s and 1950s, where people wanted someone, you can say, having much more intellect than humans. But at the same time, they did not want that intellect to be our master, right? Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence where we are learning by using some patterns, some structured data. Deep learning is more like the way humans are learning, like the way a child learns to drive a bicycle, right? It fails down, it comes back, it again sees the traffic and other things. So it is been given a lot of unstructured data, and using that it is able to generate some patterns and then learn them. Okay. So what is the structured data? Structured data is more like phone numbers, something in Excel, right? Or some data which you can easily identify the patterns with. And unstructured data is more like faces, pictures, audio files, or a lot of different data coming together, which doesn't have seemingly a proper connection. Okay. So machine learning is used more on this side, where you already have some structure, you have some person, some human to supervise that. It is also called a supervised learning. Okay. And deep learning is more an unsupervised learning, where you are actually doing for feature extraction some algorithm, some complex algorithm, and then you are creating the classification, right? So any artificial intelligence or any MLDL thing always flows from input to output. So, like, if we take an example of, say, we are asking something to Chat GPT. So that's our input, that's our prompt, and then the output is given by Chat GPT in terms of, say, maybe some essay or some article, etc. Right? And what happens in between is the intelligence of that so-called artificial intelligence. Right. If you see the broader classification of AI technologies or AI based on different functionalities, so there are four main broader classifications. One is called reactive machine, where you are asking something to the machine and then machine is giving it back. Another is limited memory, where like you can take an example of, say, driverless cars. Okay, so that kind of thing comes in limited memory. Third is theory of mind, where these two things, theory of mind and self-awareness, are still science fiction, because the machines are not still able to think on their own, right? The way we are able to think, where we are able, the way we are able to uh, improvise on the go. Okay, so today's AI technologies, they are still this part. So I'm not putting deliberately this slide in center, because with Chat GPT little bit has happened. At least we are able to generate some creative output. Obviously it is still based on some prompt, but this was not possible earlier. But with OpenAI, things are a little bit moved to this side. Okay, but for limited memory and reactive machines, we are still heavily relying on data, like large language models. If that data is not proper, you will obviously get a wrong output or not so correct output. You might have heard the term called hallucination of AI. So this is because if the data is more biased, the data is unclear, the results will also be unclear, right? Self-awareness, theory of mind, they are pure science fiction today. Nothing is happening, at least not to my knowledge. These are only existing in movies. Like you might have seen Age of Ultron, Avengers. So that is the supreme intelligence. So that kind of thing is still not there in on the earth. Okay, so be rest assured, we are still talking about pure data, no intention. Okay. Now I talked about XAI earlier, explainable AI. So what is happening today is, to train an AI, we are giving a lot of training data set. Okay, and then there is some network, neural network, some algorithm, and some function is learned, and then the result is given. But the problem is, if we are not clear about this part, how things are happening, then we are having all these questions. How did you do that? Why not something else? When can it fail? What is the framework or the boundary line for my success? All these things, right? So now people are talking about XAI systems, where whenever you are creating a model, you should be also be able to understand what exactly that model is doing, right? So it is not Bhagwan Bharose. It is purely in control of humans. And especially in industry, this kind of trend is picking up a lot, where people are now more vigilant, more careful about what they are really building. They don't want to build something which they can't explain. So this is where this XAI system comes into picture. So this is again more a theory part, but important thing is people are now more vigilant on this part, that they should be aware what are the limitations of this AI, right? What all things I can do, what all things I really cannot do. So that is only possible because of this deep learning process. Okay. what are the applications of AI? There are multiple applications. AI is everywhere. We talked about that from last 1 hour, right? So some things which came to my mind are like email spam filtering. You can see how beautifully Gmail is able to isolate the spam mails. That is because it is working on some patterns. Okay, image recognition. I talked about X-rays being read by the robots or the artificial intelligence systems, and they are able to analyze data based on that, which is quite similar to what doctors are saying, right? There are personal assistants, virtual personal assistants. You give some tasks like Copilot of Microsoft is an excellent example of virtual personal assistant. Okay, it can do a lot of things for you. Automatic translation. Google Translate is a very good example of AI being used in the Google. Okay, so Google has been quite using AI, different technologies, these reactive AI technologies from long time. People were not aware. Okay, some examples of AI. I think Rajendra sir is also going to cover a few technologies from his end. But something which every common man knows these days is this symbol, Chat GPT. The same Chat GPT is also embedded into Bing Chat. Okay, there are different softwares like Bard, DAL-E. DAL is able to create images, beautiful images based on your prompt. Mid Journey is also able to create images based on the prompt. There is another software called Tome, which is if you give a prompt, let's say you want to create a presentation on say growth mindset or learning mindset, then it will give you 7 8 slides with beautiful pictures and some text. So that kind of technology we are talking about, right? So AI can be used for good also, AI can be used for bad also. We have to choose which side we want to go. Now, how this is all pertinent to say industry or a traditional industry, a factory automation environment. Okay, so any factory, you will see a structure like this. So there will be some machines on the factory shop floor. Say for example, some packaging machine or printing machine or whatever, right? Then there will be an edge computing, which will capture data, runtime data, the fast data of these machines, and do some calculations and send the data to cloud. Right? There will be some app in the cloud which will keep on monitoring that data and keep on generating new analysis based on that, or it will give you some dashboarding kind of stuff. Okay, so this is how the structure looks like. Now, if we see the where is AI coming into picture here is, so this is a typical scenario where we are having some field devices, some sensors, some controllers, etc., which are all at the back end. We are having some good computing power, safety, security, so many things are there, right? Then we are having this industrial edge where this you can say a local cloud which is sitting inside the factory and using this data from this controller, a fast data, and creating some meaningful output, and it is giving to cloud. And then cloud had itself has a different software for doing more analysis, right? All are interconnected with each other. And where AI product is coming right now, at least Siemens is doing a lot of R&D in this area, where you are having this SM1500 is a PLC name, and NPU is a numerical processing unit. Okay, uh, so neuro processing unit. So we are able to actually use this AI right now in the machine level or the field level, and we are able to get some data out of it. Okay, and then the future plans are AI on edge, AI on cloud. Already there are some softwares which are already working on cloud using AI. I will talk to about them briefly. So I have taken one example of inspection of PCBs. So PCB is like an electrical board on which a lot of circuit is created. Now we can use some kind of neural network in the hardware, and this is the main PLC which is being used for the machine logic. Okay, we can take a camera and take pictures of this production process. We can take pictures of those PCBs, and then using this neural network, neural processing unit, we are able to determine which visually which board is faulty, which board is correct, and then we are able to segregate that. The same data is also the output of this neural processing is given to PLC for determining the next step. Like for example, if there is a conveyor for a good batch of PCBs, then maybe some output will be fired, and that specific PCB will go to good conveyor or good product. Some conveyor will be there for bad products, then the PLC will fire another output, and then that will go this side. And so all these logics will be done here. But important is someone has to tell the PLC which is good and which is bad. Right? Normally people have been doing this using some, say maybe someone is manually checking those, which is a very slow process. Then we are also able to give feedback that the last PCB which you said was faulty was actually good PCB. So this input you can give back, and then we are able to do a closed loop kind of for fortification of the algorithm. Okay, so this is how AI is presently working in industry. It is still very very you can say nascent stage, very very primary stage, but things are improving, and maybe in another 4 or 5 years you will see a lot of advances in industrial use of AI. Okay, another interesting example of AI is in cloud. It is called as predictive maintenance. Now we all know what is the reactive maintenance. Like if the tube goes in our house, we simply replace it. So that's a reactive maintenance. Preventive maintenance, like we keep on checking certain parts. Let's say in industry, this is very famous. Like for example, the motors. So a motor has a life of say 10,000 hours, working hours. So maybe at 8,000 or 9,000 hours are completed, we will have a preemptive check of the motor, whether the bearings are right or not, etc. The third stage is predictive maintenance, where by analyzing some data of the running machine, you are able to uh, predict whether this will fail and how many days it will fail, etc. And then this is again a science fiction. It is still not come. It's called as prescriptive. So AI will itself will tell you everything beforehand. Okay, so we are not reached to that stage. So a good example of a preventive predictive maintenance here is this is some machine, some process. Okay, and we are having some sensors, IoT sensors here, which are connected to the cloud. So this they will keep on sending data like pH and all these things like internal diameter and thickness, so and so many things. Based on this data, there will be an app, a predictive maintenance app inside the cloud, which will do some analysis, and based on that, it will do prediction. Like for example, current pH and CO2 levels are at 80%. So there is a possibility of failure. And then this data, this analysis will be given to operator or his manager or supervisor or anyone, and then they will take some corrective action beforehand. So now we are not really stopping for a preventive maintenance. Okay, so these kind of things are there. Now some predictions, some trends which we are seeing in artificial intelligence. One is multimodal generative AI. So far, like chat gpt is only giving you a text output, but then people are already started thinking on how they can combine different things, how they can combine say a text, image, audio, video, and then creating together. So especially AI creating video is a new craze in market these days. Everyone wants to capitalize on that because AI is able to really generate some really beautiful videos out of it. Okay. Another is quantum AI, where using quantum computing power, you are able to run the complex AI algorithms. That's another trend. Composite AI is like you are using different technologies of machine learning and deep learning, and then making the AI explainable, or it is to create more common sense out of AI. Okay. Edge AI is, I talked about edge computing earlier. So cloud is somewhere you don't know. Your cloud may be in say Singapore. Your cloud which you are using maybe in say US. It might be in the building next to you. You don't. But edge is more focused towards the factory or the focus towards the environment. So people are now creating AI algorithms which will be able to use the real time faster data and do something out of it. Okay. So we talked about these use cases earlier, so I will not repeat much. Few things which I just want to highlight is like predictive maintenance, which I talked about, or this in healthcare, you are able to read the X-rays and make sense out of it. So all these things are possible with AI, and this is going to be future, no doubt about it. Uh, People have been using AI, or they are planning to use AI in big way, especially where there are mundane tasks, where some repetitive tasks can be changed, right? Can be automated. So these kind of things you can talk about. So logistics has a big potential of using AI in terms of robots, right? In terms of processes, process automation, and other things. Small video on how AI can be impactful in education. Okay, let's see whether I'm able to play this video.
Some classrooms
Can
for
you
older
hear the
kids,
voice?
Administrators have found a place for artificial intelligence. What's not known is whether
Yes,
this could
yes,
be a
we do.
substitute for school
Okay.
education.
A timeless scene that has been played out in schools around the world for centuries. Young students enjoying their break between lessons. But back in the classroom of this school in Abu Dhabi, a transformation is happening.
In this lesson, you learn to solve equations with rational coefficients.
Whiteboards, markers, and books have been replaced with interactive calendars, digital avatars, and laptops.
Let's solve this equation together.
14-year-old
This
Mario
collaborative
Mohammed
approach,
is just
which
one
Rajendra
of
sir was talking earlier.
25,000 students in the UAE and the US being taught through the Olive Education platform.
When we was using books, it was like so boring. So it's nice to use new technology in learning, not in a traditional way.
Founded in Abu Dhabi in 2015, the online program is using technology to disrupt traditional education in the classroom. Children are encouraged to create their own avatar. And through the use of videos, animation, digital content, and questions along the way, the Olive platform aids learning. At its headquarters in Abu Dhabi, in a secured control room, analysts use artificial intelligence to make sense of the reams of information coming in.
We capture millions of data points on a daily basis. A human could not process that many data points.
The premise is simple. If a pupil struggles with a concept, the system adapts and presents the lesson again in a form more tailored to the student. The result is reframing the future of education.
Wouldn't it be great if you could look at artificial intelligence and data to drive kids into the right careers, into the right choices post-secondary education?
When it comes to adopting AI technology, the United Arab Emirates is one country leading the way. But with artificial intelligence expected to generate $96 billion towards the economy by 2030, some are worried that this technology comes at a cost, with a growing debate over whether the benefits outweigh increased screen time for children or potential privacy concerns.
Yep. Okay. So, what are the careers in AI? You can be a machine learning engineer, deep learning engineer, data scientist, business intelligence developer. Like that means you also know the business side, you also know the AI side, and then you are able to do a consulting kind of role. Data scientist, big data architect, so which is required for say data lake management, software architect, NLP engineer, that is natural language processing engineer. So what you really need first is some degree in computer science, mathematics, statistics, right? Where you are working with numbers and programming and other things. You should know Python, SQL a little bit more. You should know the database, how to handle databases, visualize the databases, understanding of cloud technologies, and important is how you are able to connect that intelligence with the business part, right? So a lot of new things are there in AI, and definitely you will see a lot of big education institutes are also offering different courses in AI. So if you have that flair of say data science, definitely you can think of having a career in AI. Okay. So as I said, sir said rightly at start, AI is our assistant, right? AI is not our replacement. It is just not possible to use only AI and then forget about humans. So what we should instead think is how I can be able to I can use AI to full extent, which will make my job easier, right? That means I don't have to just copy and paste and give it to someone, but I should learn to add value on what AI is doing. Okay, so maybe I will give you a small example of myself how I added value using AI. So we have some time, right, madam? Hello. Hello.
Hello, thanks Mahendra for an amazing, very enlightening presentation. It was quite engrossing with a lot of information filled in, and especially you wrapped up with how it is being used effectively across the world for teaching students, because this is very critical from the for any developing field, that the students are connected with it in a effective way. Thank you so much. And I would also like to thank you for taking your time off and spending your very valuable time and sharing such a lot of information with the youngsters and the faculty, which is going to help them in a big way in their careers and in their future prospects. Mahindra has to leave because he has some meeting at his office. So we will stay connected, Mahindra. As you said that you have much more to, and yes, the field is so extensive. We will invite you again to give a talk on the field in an even bigger perspective. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. I invite Dr. Rajendra to share his views on how the academicians and researchers can ease their work by effectively using artificial intelligence.
Yeah. Thank you, madam. So I'll just share my screen.
Yeah.
Can you please help me with whether the screen is visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So basically, when we are talking about this AI as a trend now, and so let's try to understand how exactly this AI is defined. So it is nothing but like it is mimicking the human being, what a human being can do the task. So precisely how it can be done. Of course, we have the rational behavior and many, but introducing the AI is like increasing the preciseness, accuracy, and accordingly, the other thing is like assistance. So almost now we have Alexas and all, which has become the member of our family, and we are using it. So as we nowadays talking about Gen AI, so what exactly it is? So driverless car and all, as it has been now the cars are running in US nowadays. Okay, so in India still we don't have that vehicle policy. So that's what again the AI policies are not there in our country, and hence becoming the challenging to have this AI at different places. So when we talk about the GNAI and all, so what is there basically? So there is a LLM. We talk about the large language model. So ChatGPT is one of the another LLM which belongs to the other country, and whereas recently India introduced the Kritrim, which was another LLM, which has been introduced, and there was a inaugural last month where we are now emerging as one of the developer of LLM model. Okay. So when we talk about the basic technique or the discriminative technique, so you can see in the picture that the picture of dog is explained. So early days, the scenario of AI was you have to explain everything. Take an example of your mobile phone biometric locks. So we need to train the mobile that this is what my thumb impression is. So we keep training. The mobile learns about your fingerprint, and so different patterns are learned, and accordingly it recognizes. So it was a simple concept, training and recognition. Whereas generative AI is different. You ask him, generate the image of dog. I'll be showing you all this lively again. Okay. So generate an image of dog. Now it's imagination. Now dog, how it should be. There are different breeds of the dogs, and everyone is having the different picture of dog in their mind. So this model will generate the dog. It is not recognizing. So the difference between the first picture and second is the first one is simply the recognition. Second is the generation. And this is what the Gen AI is talking about. So many a times I want to write an essay or I want to just give a thought for some new example, but it takes a time for me. So again, here I would like to mention the Gen AI will help you to assist, not to replace your thoughts. Okay. So you mention in what direction you're thinking, provide those parameters in your prompt. So basically we call it prompt engineering, and accordingly your contents will be generated. So just the reason behind discussing this is, so whatever I'll be demonstrating you, I'll just take 15 minutes here, and whatever I'll be demonstrating, so you will understand the theory behind this. Otherwise, many people talk about applications, but what is happening behind it, no one speaks about that. So this is a general, if IT students are there, they can easily understand. So we write the code, we label that data. So what previously I had shown you in the first picture, we are labeling this is the dog. So again, other pattern of the dog, puppies. So all that comes under the dog. And then, so it is basically predicting or recognizing. So this is how it works. Next is Whereas the Gen AI, it is you can see the change is there in the model, and that change is nothing but generating the new content. So it may be the text, it may be the code generation or image generation. So this is how the Gen AI is. These are some examples. Like traditional programming was like it was a specific to the problem. Now we are beyond that now. Okay. So these are all everything this exists. Okay. So this is a cat, this is not a cat, or this is a dog, this is a cat. We label and then we get it done, as I shown you previously. But Gen AI is like, this is the book. Okay. Go read this huge pile of books. And now, once the book is known, now you ask about the book. What is there on page number so and so? And this is how you are going to get the content. So these models, they learn about the language. This is another example. This is of Bard. So like I'm making a sandwich with peanut butter, and so now what next prediction? So like this, the prediction comes whether jelly, jam. So options are coming out. So this is how this is how the assistance is there. It helps you to quickly think. It saves our time. So this is what my perspective of looking towards technology is. If someone is thinking, and now I don't need to think, so then that is a wrong aspect. So you are going to kill your thoughts. Don't do that. Prompt designing. So it is nothing but what you want. Please ask for that. There is an example like I would like to mention a kid when he is asking for certain thing, but he is not able to explain why he wants. Many times we demand, but he don't know. So, and since if it finds challenging for the parents to get for him, so you're not able to get it. But when you mention that I need an iPhone, but what will be the utility of the iPhone? So even if you ask for iPhone and with the proper explanation, and if you can convince your parents, you will get it. So that is nothing but the prompt designing or prompt engineering. So that is what you have to ask for. Okay. So let's see, like training a dog. I'm training a dog. So sit, come. All these are the different actions. Down, stay. So this is how we train the dog. And now overall, all these different instructions are being learned. Okay. So similar ideas are applied to our large language model. Okay. So basically, large language models are used to solve your problems based on the common language. So it can be text classification, question answering. Nowadays, the bots are there. You can see many websites, even your college website might be there. So inquiries are there. I need an inquiry. So 24/7, it is difficult for the human being to connect with the website, but the human touch should be there. So that is how nowadays the bots are integrated. And you ask anytime, how may I help you? What exactly you want from our website? If you are finding difficulties, so you just put your query and you get. So still a lot of improvement is required still, but it is working because the support of multiple language is lacking in those bots. Nowadays, only if you are good at communication, so you can precisely ask and you will get the information. Okay. So these are the LLM applications. I'll show you easy things which you can today itself integrate in your, you can make your email box smarter. Okay. All that. So these are the domain specific fields where you can have the implementation of your AI, Gen AI. Okay. Apart from that, there is another emerging trend which is happening. Like everyone has the mobile at place now, and it may happen. I miss some gadgets which are there to switch off. Okay, so controlling them. Many a times it happens. We leave our room, but the energy consumption continues. So how we can save? So we can fix the sensors. We can fix the schedule. So generally it happens that morning many a times around 4 o'clock we don't need the fan or AC, but there is no option or we cannot woke up precisely and switch off the fan. But within that time, even if the device's fan or AC is not, we don't need at all. So it can automatically schedule the switch off, switch on process. So that has now appear. We do have these solutions available. So you can see these examples like now my water filter is there. I just exactly put the moment it fills, automatically it stops. So whatever the wastage of water or the energy is there, that is now saved. Same way for micro ovens and all you can control. Okay, you be at any place in the world, you can control all your devices, your gadgets, and this is how you can now make all these things useful or as a part of life. Now I will say this is not the luxury. This is somewhere again need now, which can help you to just contribute towards the sustainability again in other aspect. So now I will back to the just demonstration. First we'll make our email box smarter. Okay. So how to make, everyone is using Gmail. Okay. And so before that, I will show how smart my Gmail is and how it is working. So this is my personal Gmail and I'm just opening for you. And here you can see we need to compose the mail, right? And many a times I need the quick reply to be sent, or I need to schedule some replies that I want to reply to some messages. So how it can be done? So can you see this button at bottom, which is a chat GPT writer, which is integrated. So I just click on it and I want to write a mail. Okay, like I want to invite uh, invitation for guest session on artificial intelligence for national conference. And now, just a moment. So it is connected to your chat GPT. There is a chat GPT writer. Yes. And you can just see now. So here I am just posting. And see, you can see all these gray lines. So it is generating the mail for me. So you can just see if I mention the name of the speaker, the date, time, where the location is. So I will get all this. And simply I need to insert and my mail is ready almost. So just to now say what is the role of human being. Now this has generated the framework, a kind of framework. Now I need to input certain specific things or some sentences and quickly response or quickly invite. So this would have taken some half an hour along with my regular work just to draft the lines, because sitting at this position again to draft two lines also becomes difficult. But and again, if I am asking to my office assistant someone to do this, so again her thoughts will be different, and again this may be the time consuming process. So here I am just using it as an assistance, and quickly I make few changes and just response to them. So I can just have just the to madam only I will send this mail. Okay, and again, not only that, I'll come back. Suppose I want to send this mail at a particular timing, that evening 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, the mail should be sent. So I can do like this scheduling. So scheduling will be So I'm just scheduling for a particular time and this mail will be received. Can you see the schedule option? Tomorrow morning 8 a.m. or today itself or pick up a date and time. Today is 18 around 1:26 p.m. So this should be sent. So this mail will be sent at 1:26. So this is how I make certain mail I keep ready, I draft, and this has to be assigned. So even when I'm busy with other things, automatically the work is been going on in the background. So again, assistance. Okay, it is not replacing me, but it is helping me to get two more tasks easily. So that is how I use. Coming back to the other, just quite fancy thing is there, which is now happening. You can create the videos. Nowadays, it is the era of creating the video and posting it on the social media, right? And so for teachers or researchers, they need to, many times it happens nowadays, many teachers are taking the initiative to create the video. So what you can do, so it's a huge task that one recorder is there, then you need to be a proper attentive. Many a times you need face the challenges for uh, facing the this camera, content, so many things. The best way what you can do, use this studio.did. Actually, it gives you, it is a paid. Okay, I'm not promoting, but I'm just showing you this tool. So what you can do, you can just select your pictures. Okay, how it should be, whether it's circular or you want the square. Okay, so accordingly, it will be there. Plus, you have to add the images. Okay, so I'll go with my other mail. It may give me some credits because already I had used those credits which was assigned to me. So you need your photograph only. So if you have one or two photographs and whatever voice, your sample voice, you can train. So just register yourself. What is the purpose and all. Now it may give me 5 credits. Okay. So I'm creating now new video. I'll be adding my picture. Let me check if any good picture is there. Okay, I'll be just adding my own picture. Okay, it is just the photograph. Language. Now, what is the accent you need? Okay, so I'll just keep the default settings just to save voice, Adan, okay, or any other you need. So those voices can be set. Let me check with the free voice. So Andrew, this voice is freely available. If I go for license, I may, the other features are also there. Even you can train your this video with your own voices. If 10-15 minutes audio is there, you just upload that. Okay. Now what should be there in the script? Welcome to the world of artificial. It will allow for some limited word only. Okay. So welcome to the world of artificial intelligence. I am done now. So I'll generate the title will be AI demo. Okay. And now just generating the video. Now here the concept of ethics and all that comes because this can be misused also. But again, the other aspect is there. So 3 seconds video is generated, and now I'll be playing.
Welcome to the world of artificial intelligence.
And this is how you can create. So I'm not required, my pictures are there, 2-3 pictures I can take. You give the proper gestures, and your videos can be created with the proper script. So script also, so no editing required then further. So this is how it is saving the time. Again, question comes, will it replace the job of creators? Never. You can use it, use your expertise, because I'm a teacher, I'm not a video maker. But you need to upgrade as a student or the profession from this content creator. So you can make use of this. And anyway, these things are not going to stop. But how you can enhance your skills with the technology, that is up to you. So this is how you can generate your videos. I will come to the another one LLM model, and this is quite uh, different. So we have developed one of the bot which is on the background or on the framework of ChatGPT. Okay. So like today Vedanta College has invited me, and let me know. So what I did, what Vedanta College is, Vedanta College, Thane. So I would have Google or I would have checked, but I don't go to Google or check all this now. So you can see this bot is integrated into the Word, and now it is helping me to generate the content. And also it gives you the information as and when required. So this Chatur bot, it is basically on the framework of this ChatGPT. See, you can see about the college. Correct me, madam, if the information is real proper or not. So this is what about your college. So overall, Vedanta College Thane is a reputed institution, provides education and opportunities for the world. So this is how the information is generated about Vedanta College Thane in Marathi. Now give me the information in Marathi. So in Marathi, the information is there. I want the story of Mumbai city in Marathi or Hindi. So whatever the languages are globally available now. So there is a support which this particular bot helps you. There are many exciting things which I'll be showing you what it can do for you. So there is a LLM which is working as I shown you previously in the slides. So what it is doing, it is pulling the data from all which Google, what we do, we Google out, then there is a indexing of 1,000 web pages, then something you pick up, and there are, so it is very vague. But based on this Gen AI concept, here I am getting the information. So now it is taking some more time because it is going to generate the information in a depth. So still the processing is going on. On an averagely within 20 to 40 seconds, you get your information. So many a times it happens I need some vocabularies or certain words we need to place properly. We need to drop the things. So of course we take the help of language translator, but again there is a challenge of accuracy, grammatical and all. So here this particular bot helps you to get the information. This also generates the images. So as I discussed that many a times uh, when you are asking for images to the ChatGPT, so ChatGPT is asking you to pay around $20 to $25, and that too again it is allowing you only for 50 images. But this bot is just allowing you to create the images also. Suppose as a teacher, I want to teach some concept and I want to show the diagram. So just let me check. It is okay, still it is processing. Okay, done. So about Mumbai city, I want to know in Marathi. And this is how in Marathi you will get the information. Okay. Now we work or we need to draft the proposals for suppose a simple example like draft for memorandum of understanding for training and placement between Vedanta College and Tata or Vedanta Group of Industries. Principal Dr. And okay. So memorandum of understanding for training and placement. So now many a times it happens that for what exactly you will be having MOU. So what MOU should consist of, and that process takes a lot of time. So again, there are certain parameters. Both the parties they need to work out. So this particular bot will help both the thing way. You don't need to get into the legal aspects. Anyway, you have to take expertise from them or their supervision is must. And here you will get the draft ready. So training and placement between Vedanta College and Vedanta Group of Industries. You can put the date. If the date would have mentioned, this would have come here also. The address, Vedanta Group of Industry. So in a proper legal language, your draft, what is the purpose of the MOU, scope, training programs, internship opportunities, placement services, what resources you will be sharing, what will be the duration, whatever the other legal aspects and signatories. So the draft is properly ready. The very important thing again, which teachers need now, create, or I'm teaching a subject. So like create, I will take madam subject now, create PowerPoint presentation on organizational behavior. Slides. I want only 11 slides. So my lecture outline will be ready and further you want to generate your content, so that content will also be ready. Now while teaching, I need some case study to be brief. You ask for the case study, that case study can be discussed. Don't carry books now with you, or even it doesn't make a good impression. So better way, even during the session when you are switching to Google, again suddenly that becomes a very distracting the students. But here only this tool can generate the content for you. So exact 11 slides you will get. Key elements, benefits of strong organizational culture, case study. I'm not the expert of subject, but this is what the content is there. So exact those slides can be created. Now, during the lecture, I want to show the picture. Suppose I'm teaching some, I'll take the botanical example. Create an image of plant cell, okay, with labels. Now, plant cell in our school days, everyone has studied the this botanical basics. So the teacher, he can just mention, no need to draw the diagram. Even mathematics problems can be solved. You give the example. And here is your image, which is generated. So whatever time earlier professor used to spend in drawing or even in PPT, not required. So just you explain this cell. Okay, why you're spending your time in creating the PPT? Simply use it, generate the content and discuss. So it is saving your time. It is not replacing you, but now as an expert, you can add your own things also. Almost the accuracy is 99%. Okay, but still human supervision is required. So this is how the images can also be created. We are still working on audio, video, how it can be done in future. But from last 2 years, we are working on this particular project. And today now, in terms of this bot, it is now available for the users. There are many interesting things like case study of Mumbai transport. Okay. Let's see, is there any case study? Or for banking sector or any of the other thing, BFSI you can take. So you can just generate the content or you can use it for your reference. But again, my message is, this is the assistance. So use wisely. Of course, don't kill your talent because you are the representative of our next generation representative of our country. The talent should not be killed, but such talent should emerge with again more innovative things. So there are many more to come. So this is the overall case study. It can generate the reports for you. It can generate the one more interesting things I would like to mention, the minutes of meeting for academic planning held on 18th January 2024 at conference room of Vedanta College, Dr. India. Meeting held on 18 January 10:30 a.m. Even timing also I'm mentioning. Okay. So how precisely you are giving the prompt. Okay. And this is the biggest challenge again, which we conduct the meetings, but many a times certain things are left out. This needs to be documented. Now, this I am completely talking with the teachers and academician point of view. So how this can help you or this can assist you? Because there is a responsibility given to one of the member during the meeting to make a note of all these minutes. Those minutes gets drafted probably after 15 days or many times it has been missed out. And when officially it has to be discussed, so that time it becomes problem. So here are the minutes of meeting, academic planning meeting, date 18 January, time, location conference room, Vedanta College, attendees. Agenda was review of previous academic year, assessment of student, discussion, any other business. minutes. So Dr. Kohli summarized the highlights and challenges faced in the previous academic year. The overall student enrollment increased by 10%. Assessment, Dr. Iyer presented a detailed analysis of student performance. Dr. Somani proposed a few updates. So planning and any other business. And finally, the next academic meeting was scheduled on another 15th. So next date is also suggested. See, at 2 p.m. in the same location. And just the minutes drafted by even that name you can mention. So your whole report is ready almost. You conduct the conference now, today's conference. So the report can be easily made. I can show that the today's report on national webinar on artificial intelligence tools in academics research. Mahendra Kani, where the resource person. People attended the session. So I'm just giving some key parameters and see the report now. Date and all I had not mentioned. Okay, if date and all I would have added, it will include date, time, everything. So now for today's webinar report, responsibility might be shouldered by someone, and so this report may take a lot of time. And see how quickly this report can be ready. I will post this report later. So, so you can just check out. So the report is ready. National webinar on so and so. Moderator, principal. There was an interactive Q&A. Okay, Dr. moderated the session, ensuring smooth flow. So of course, you can modify and with conclusion and all, the report is closed. So this is how this particular bot works, and there are many more again, like the process automation and apart from that, which reduces your efforts. Now I have the process automation right now here. The login issues are there, but I would have demonstrated that also. That today I have to send some 5 mails. I already shown you the other scheduling and all. But through process automation, I map the people whom I want to send a mail, the topic and what is the content. Timing also I fix. And here I am taking my lunch and at the same time the work is going on. So this is how I try to maintain my health as well as the work also. So all life work balance is possible. If you work smartly, you can do many things. So of course, for using the technology, also you need to bit organized discipline, and of course ethics we need to carry. The technology or should not harm anyone. The technology should not harm any of the individual, including us. So that care one has to take. Of course, the journey has just started for AI now. And being India known for the technology across the globe, so the young talent, this is just the message for the youth. So kindly enable yourself or upskill yourself with so that you can very well contribute to this technology in the coming eras. Not necessary that you should belong to only IT or computer science background, but people from different domains. In fact, they are performing excellently in the field of technology. So really, I would like to just stop from my end here. And again, I'm very much thankful to Principal Dr. Sangeeta Kohli Madam for just allowing me to share a bit whatever I know with you.
Thank you so much, Rajendra. This was amazing. It was like we were seeing some miracle happen in front of us. This was so interesting, and I was wondering that there is so much to know and so much to make our life so easy with the help of all these things. But yeah, you are very right that at the same time, anybody and everybody cannot use this, because you should be having your own intellect, that how you can use it and use it in a good possible way. But this is mind boggling, something we had never thought of, and we had never understood, and never felt that ऐसा भी कुछ हो सकता है. So thank you so much. This was such a big eye opener, and we are definitely all in for your Chatur bot, which is so amazing. We are going to use it for everything in the college, and we'll ask the students also to use it effectively. So thank you so much for being with us. You are really amazing in the way you explained, because what I felt the best thing about your presentation was that it was so simple, it was so easy, and that is the beauty of a teacher. If you are able to simplify things, because we are all zero in technology and we could understand it so well, and all the time we were listening with total attention. It was only because we understood it so well. अगर वो एकदम complicated होता तो it would become very difficult for us to continue listening. So amazing, your presentation was great, the information shared was uh, amazing. Some miracle coming out in front of us, कुछ जादू चल रहा है, magic चल रहा है, ऐसे लग रहा था सामने सब.
There are many more again which I could have shown, but it is almost like 5 or 6 hours now. Many corporates just for the knowledge. They are also now see, they are also the seller of same ship. Only they have their business domain. They have the experience. But recently, some international trainings were also there, and the corporates themselves are finding challenging. Of course, the ethical issues are there, aspects are there. So they are also now just starting their career and learning in the similar way. So when I feel like if I am an intermediator, like academician also know the same thing. Tomorrow, if the students go to corporate, so for them this should not feel like the miraga. "Arey, I know I had seen in my student age." So of course this can benefit a lot, and this is what get acquainted with such things. Tomorrow it should not happen that you should feel that I am outdated, I don't know anything at all.
Yeah.
This is beyond my thought. So please get yourself educated, because the definition of illiteracy has changed now.
Exactly.
Earlier, it was one who cannot read, right? Then in 2000 to up to 15, I will say, it was one who cannot use internet and all. So they were illiterate. Okay, and now then in 20, the definition was something one who cannot make online payment, digital payments. He is illiterate. So you can see the vegetable sellers also they upgraded, and now they are using Paytms and all. They knew the scanner. So they are allowing us to do the digital payment. But now from these 23 onwards, the definition of illiteracy is now, if you don't know AI, then you are illiterate again.
Yes. Completely, totally agree with you. You have put the right words before all the youngsters, and even in front of all senior citizens like me, that this is so important. We need to get very clearly acquainted with AI, otherwise we will very soon become obsolete totally. So thank you so much, and I'm going to make all my students go through your presentation again in full length, because this is going to be very, very useful for the students and the faculty. So I request uh, Ankit to take over.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajendra Patil, sir, for such an enriching talk. We are sure the talk by the eminent speakers have truly benefited the participants. I request Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. Kiran Meghani Ma'am, to give her concluding remark and vote of thanks.
Yeah. So myself, Dr. Kiran, Vice Principal of Vedanta College. I am proposing final formal vote of thanks, but before that, let us have the concluding statements and all the ideas which are shared by the resource person. Let us have the gist of the same in my concluding remarks. So the session already started with panel discussion, and the ideas shared by Rajendra sir were that although ChatGPT was introduced in 2012, but it was not that popular those times, and scenes have changed now. So when we talk about the application of ChatGPT and AI tools in research, we have to definitely see its alignments with the societal utility, and education system seems to be catalyst for AI application. The need of hour is the AI policies which needs to be streamlined, and all the AI leadership required to be implemented by having these talks, sessions, workshops, and webinars, which could talk about the synergy required from the government, industry, academics, and research. Now, academicians should also change their approach, because we are now facilitators rather than we were playing the role of only information disseminators, and ideally we were coaching our students. But now with the help of technology, the teachers have to play a role of facilitator, and teachers should be this is the one idea or suggestion which sir gave, which I liked it very much, which was that teachers should be sent for internship for 1 month in the corporates and industries. Definitely, sir. I was actually talking to ma'am also that we have to bridge the gap between industry and academics, and these things are the need of our, where teachers have to be ideally trained in the industry prospects, and they can bring the real industry work into the classroom. Then and then only we can be facilitators. And researchers in AI, we have also spoke, sir has also given ideas about how to correctly use it. So all ethical consideration in the era of AI were discussed by the sir. Talking about Mahendra sir, the panel discussion ideas were algorithm used in the stock market. Yes, to some extent, the online portals like Grow and Upstocks and Kite, Zerodha, they have been using all these algorithms to generate the leads in the market. Again, the ethical consideration come there also. Clinical fields like X-rays, MRI were also spoken of. Sir has also given an idea towards the responsible use of large language models and algorithm, black box for industry and academia, and how traditional sector industry wherein job cuts is the major issue, which sir said that if we learn to have these skilling, we learn to operate the machines and we learn to build the models, nobody can cut your jobs. But although RPA stands to be a challenge, wherein the repetitive jobs or mundane jobs, we have to learn how they are going on, and that could be actually replaced by AI and chatbots. And then we had these individual talks by Mahindra sir and Rajendra sir. To name a few things or ideas which were highlighted in Mahindra sir talk was cloud connectivity with the cards, Office 365-degree examples, Zomato, Nike shoes, designing your own shoes. Sir also spoke about how we have transformed from industry 1.0 to 4.0, wherein we have seen data-driven technologies coming in, Internet of Things, industry Internet of Things, and digital replica. All those things were given as an example. Also, I liked one of the example wherein we actually learned about the CRM tools and CDP system, digital payment system, which are using the data analytics in industry 4.0. So complete overview about industry 4.0 followed by industry 5.0 which requires sustainable development, human-centric and resilience approaches. So trends and prediction for AI were also discussed, in which sir has given the live demo video. Sir have played a live demo video of application of AI in the education. And sir also lastly spoke about the careers in AI. Now, this was all about Mahindra sir. We had Rajendra sir who has given the actual demo and how we can take use of AI in teaching also, wherein I was amazed to see the bots, the Chatur bot which sir has showed, also the email message generation with the help of chat GPT, which is the takeaway for me. And in fact, I also learned that how studiodid.com is used for generating videos, and how to integrate your own system into the Chatur bot and take the full information in the form of content using MOU, slides, minutes, and also sir showed how you can generate the images. Also, the correct use of AI again in this Chatur bots will be if you know how to create a correct prompt, and there's where process automation and prompt engineering plays a very important role. So this was all about our panel discussion and the talks which were given by eminent speakers. Now I am proposing formal vote of thanks. So I am highly thankful to esteemed experts of today's session, Dr. Rajendra sir, for enlightening us today with the world of AI and its application into academics and research, because I had been asking madam also, please ask certain AI tools so that which makes our teaching learning easy and enjoyable. I also express my sincerest gratitude to Dr. Mahendra Kane sir for sharing substantial information on Industry 4.0 and going to 5.I also, 5.0 also with the help of AI tools. I am heartily thankful to our management of Vedanta College, Suman Didwani ma'am, our trustee, and Mr. Ravi Krishnan, CEO, for being present here and always being backboning authorities, not only for this event, for all other programs as well. I would be really failing in my duty if I forget to thank our principal ma'am, Dr. Sangeeta Kohli, for helping us organizing all such wonderful webinars and workshops, online, offline, and bringing such wonderful resource person for the same. And I'm also obliged to all the teachers, students, participants of this workshop who has joined us online through YouTube streaming. Lastly, I'm thankful to all my organizing team and collaborative technicians, starting with Rupesh sir, Akash Soni, Vikram Aditya, Shivam Gupta, and student host Ankit and Mehak for comparing this session throughout. Thank you one and all.
I will. I forgot to congratulate Rajendra for this amazing Chatur bot that he and his team have created. This is going to be something revolutionary in the, because it's so user friendly and it is a very big assistance. So in our college, everybody is going to be a game for Chatur bot, undoubtedly. But God bless you and congratulations again for
Thank you,
creating
madam.
such an amazing facility for everybody. It's not just for the teachers, it's for the layman. So thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
And I will meet you soon. Yeah.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
मैम से कुछ एंड करें, एंड दी वेबिनार।